C5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSim Studios YouTube channel. We are live on this Friday evening. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, had a good day. Now it's time to do a giveaway and talk a little technology news for the day. See how everybody's doing as well. Let me double check my audio because the one time, I usually always check it. The one time I didn't check it, it was all jacked up. So let me just make sure we are good to go here. Let's see. Testing. Sounds good to me. All right. How's everybody doing? You ordered the FIFA Flip. FIFA Flip. Soccer's coming out. Oh, the for the World Cup, the special edition. Nice. Yeah, I think it's okay with me. Hang on. You said it's low? Let me double check here. You said it's low? Let me double check here. You said it's low? Sounds good to me. Let me double check on my end real quick the audio controls. Let's see. It's at 150%. I think it can go up to 200, but I don't want to. I'll turn it up a little bit. I'll put on 160. Okay. Volume's good. Hey, what's up, Bradley? How you doing? Hope you had a good week so far. So we're gonna get into. We'll do a giveaway today. Yeah, maybe. We gotta. We're gonna do a giveaway here shortly. I typically do Amazon e-gift cards, and it seems like most everybody has Amazon nowadays. Or if you don't have Amazon, I can send you a Cash App or send you some money on Chime, or I don't have PayPal and I don't have Venmo, so it's gonna have to be one of those three. Typically when I have stuff in to review, I do have a couple of, I've given away earbuds, Galaxy Buds, I've given away Android TV boxes, cases. I have an item here, but I have to review it first before I give it away. And eventually we're going to get to phones. I was just looking a few days ago at some phones that I can give away. I'm probably going to do that this summer, right? Probably still a couple months away, but just trying to get some ideas. Probably not going to be the Motorola Razr Fold, but it'll be something, right? It'll be a phone, right? So, and you can sell it if you want, use it if you want. I don't care. It'll be yours. But before we get started, I do want to let you know the YouTube channel is sponsored by Leica Mobile. Fantastic cell phone service and MVNO. They use the big named carriers, the towers, for their service, so you know you're not getting gypped on the service. They got some really good plans, fairly inexpensive, especially if you want to get a second line. I know a lot of people want to get a business line, or if you have a side hustle, you don't want your main phone ringing all the time, like mine. They have many plans, but two that I've kind of put my eyeball on is you can get 18 gigabytes of high-speed 5G data plus 10 gigs of hotspot data, unlimited talk, unlimited text to over 100 countries around the world for only $7.50. $7.50. That's cheaper than a meal at some of your fast food restaurants or any restaurant. Also, if you want to go unlimited, they have an unlimited plan, unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text for only $18 per month. Fantastic deal. Link is down below. And IMEI certified.com. Did I say IMEI? I mean, let me redo that. We're also sponsored by IMEI Certified and IMEI certified.com. They convert your stolen and or lost device, your phone, even a tablet, iPad, hotspot, smartwatches. If it has an IMEI number associated with the device and it's considered lost and or stolen, they convert it back to clean and clear, certified clean and clear, so you can use the device again. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people. You buy a phone anywhere off of well, typically Swap is pretty good, but any one of those online retail marketplaces, you buy a phone, you use it for, I don't know, a few weeks, and then boom, you get hit with a no service. And you're like, what's going on? Call the carrier. I paid my bill. You eventually find out the person that sold it to you reported it lost and or stolen. It sucks. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people, as I mentioned. But IMEI Certified is here to help you out. Now, little unknown fact, even if you find the phone later, like if you call it in and report it lost and they send you another phone, even if you find it a month or two later, 3 months later, and say, hey, I found it, can you reactivate it? No, they won't do it. They will not do it whatsoever. And IMEI Certified can reverse that back to clean and clear. Their servers are tied into the carrier servers. They're tied into the manufacturer servers. They're tied into the GSMA database. It's like the mother of all databases that certifies these devices lost or stolen. Well, IMEI Certified is tapped into those servers, are tapped into the computer system, so they can go in behind the scenes, flip the switch, get it certified clean. IMEIcertified.com. Link down below in the description. So, yes, thank you. Interesting. So, earbuds are weird because before I got these Nothing earbuds, it seemed like nothing, no pun intended, worked. I tried JLab, I've tried Bose, I've tried Sony, even tried Beats, but it seemed like the Galaxy buds were like the only buds that worked for me. And then I get these Nothing earbuds, and I freaking love these things. They don't fall out. Now you might see me adjusted here and there, but they don't fall out. So, and the good thing is, the weird thing with these Nothing earbuds is they have more features. So like when you have Galaxy buds and you pair it to a Galaxy phone, you know how there's typically more features when you pair it to its own brand of phones. You know how you'll have like extra bass boost or gaming mode in the Galaxy wearables app if you're using a Galaxy phone compared to using Galaxy buds with a Nothing phone, right? Well, these Nothing earbuds are the opposite. They have more features if you pair them to a non-Nothing phone. I don't get it, but okay. And they actually have some really good deals. These I have the expensive ones and the inexpensive ones. The inexpensive ones I paired to my laptop, so I use while I'm working on the computer, but the expensive ones I pair to my phone, so I don't get them crisscrossed. They've been fantastic, and actually you can find these on sale half off a lot of times, right? I think normally they're like $100. That's their cheap version, but you can find them for like $50 on Amazon quite often. And in fact, when they do have sales, I'll typically put a community post out saying they got them for sale. So it all depends on what you like and what works best with you. Did you hear Xiaomi's releasing their new phone chip this year? Yeah, so I did a video on this maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and it looks pretty cool. I know the whole Middle East thing with the Iran conflict with the US, part of chip making is needing helium, the element helium, to make these chips. I don't know. I know the general business and general idea around chip making, but not the integral parts of it. And apparently the interruption of that element helium really messed up a lot of these chip manufacturers. So I know that had something to do with their beginning of their new chip. And in that video, I also said it's going to put a strain on Qualcomm, because as you see these phone manufacturers starting to make their own chips, right? You got Apple with their own chips. You got Google making their own chips. You got Samsung trying to make their own chips. Who's going to use the Qualcomm chips now? I don't know. Now, of course, there will be, but what about 5 years from now? What about 10 years from now? Xiaomi's going to have their own chip, right? So it seems like a lot of these phone manufacturers, I mean, Oppo, probably BBK, the company that owns Oppo, for their future OnePlus devices. Probably them, right? Unless they have plans to make their own chip. But that's why you see Qualcomm starting to shift, maneuver a little bit. They see that come. If we can anticipate seeing this becoming an issue later on, like a few years from now, Qualcomm knows this, and they've actually started to enter the car space, meaning they're actually starting to make chips for cars, in the ECU. Um, they also getting into the AI data center chip making business, which is huge business. And you also see them in the wearable space. So they see this problem forthcoming. Like they see this coming up in the future. So they're not necessarily making a full transition, but they're trying to branch out and make chips for more things that need chips. And obviously they have the new Qualcomm chips for the laptops. That'll stick around. But the bread and butter of Qualcomm, the bread and butter of these chip manufacturers is the phones, just because they sell so many freaking phones every year. But keep an eye on them. That's an interesting thing that's gonna develop over these next 3 to 5 years. They're gonna have to transition and branch out into other things just to continually generate that revenue for the company. Because when Samsung, trust me, even though we all know Exynos CPUs, they've been trash, right? Well, we all know that, but you see them trying to transition. They just can't make a good CPU that they can just sit on or move forward with. But every year they're starting to push more and more phones with their Exynos CPUs. Who knows? 3 to 5 years, they could have something on their hands and be fully transitioned over. So Qualcomm's going to have to button up and find new revenue outlets. It'll be interesting to see where the Xiaomi one goes. Look, if anybody has a lot of invested interest in Xiaomi, it's the government of China, right? China, the country, wants Xiaomi to succeed with this. So they pour in, the numbers are not official and they don't put numbers out, but I've heard the government has just as much to do with the success of this Xiaomi chip as Xiaomi does, because they want them to succeed. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I wish them success. I hope they do bring something cool to the table and can get this rolling. I think it's important for these companies to make their own chips. Now, I love Qualcomm, right? I'm a member of their developer program, but looking at it from the inside, if I'm Samsung, yeah, I want to use my own chip. If I'm Xiaomi, yeah, I want to use my own chip. Now, Google, yeah, whole nother story, but I guess theirs have been successful if you look at everything, or if you look at them specifically in a vacuum, meaning you take away all the other competitors and just look at Pixel and what they're doing. I mean, their market share is growing, but when you compare it to other competition, it doesn't look so good. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this for sure. Now, you know what? This year is going to be the very first year I'm not going to buy a Pixel. The first year in my life, I'm not going to buy a Google phone on launch day. It just not going to do it. I'm very frustrated with Google and the Pixel brand. Look, speaking of, look at this. I love Pixel, right? I got a Pixel shirt on. But just goes to show you, right? If you're a consumer, you're not happy with their products. I've given them so much time to turn the corner. Remember, even this year, 2 years ago, we were like, yeah, they're gonna switch from Samsung to TSMC. They're finally gonna turn the corner on. I didn't expect Qualcomm level performance, but Jesus, I mean, it's freaking bad. Like, it's embarrassing when a 2-year-old device from your own company can outperform your current flagship device. It's embarrassing. I'm just not going to do it again this year. Why spend $1,200 on a phone right? Because the Pixel 11 Pro XL is going to be $1,200. Why buy that when you can get any one of the other flagships and they just outperform it in one thing? Not one thing, but one of the things that continually had me coming back to Pixel each and every year was the photos, right? The phenomenal photo quality, pretty good video quality, but geez, you cannot beat a Pixel photo. Well, guess what? Other companies have caught up. So they lost that advantage. I just don't see the point in the thing that gets me, y'all know, is that 200 charging cycle limit. I commented on a video yesterday. It was kind of not necessarily going back and forth, but people still don't know about this. So yeah, it's real. Google it. Like after 200 charging cycles. In fact, we fired up my Pixel 10 Pro earlier today. It literally took 2 hours to charge, and the battery drained super fast. And that's after 200 charges after like 6 months of use. So it just confirmed today. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. You use it for 6 months and then it's essentially sits in the drawer. Nah, I'll pass. I'm going to pass. What about trade in the S25 Ultra for the OnePlus 15? It's a decent trade. I mean, or you can just keep the S25 Ultra. That's still a good phone. But would I personally do that? Yeah, probably. The chip shortage may affect Find X10 production and release date. It probably will. I think after the Find X10 Pro, they may take a pause on producing flagships for a couple years until we get this chip shortage thing handled out. Yeah, it does. I know it gets the gears going. Us in the end are the winners. At least theoretically, that's how it's supposed to go. But no, I'm excited. I want to see what they can do. Like that's what technology is all about. There was a rumor that Samsung executive or CEO went to Taiwan to try to convince MediaTek to have them as their chip producer instead of TSMC. Huh. TSMC is very expensive. I don't know the total ins and outs of as I mentioned, the chip making business. But from what I understand, TSMC is very expensive. Now, you know why? Because they bring consistency. It's like if you go to Chick-fil-A, right? You know what you're going to get each and every time. And they can charge maybe a little more than their competitor that's more inconsistent. TSMC has a phenomenal product. Nobody does it better than they do at this point. That's why they're backed up for like their chip manufacturing business. They're sold out. They're at 100% capacity for the next 2 years. That's why you see Intel stock shoot way up, because they finally hit on a manufacturing process, and Apple is like, you know what? We're going to go to Intel. You see Tesla? We're going to go to Intel. It's TSMC is the best. So MediaTek's probably other competitors are, look, they got to vie for the overflow that TSMC has, and lower prices, will entice a lot of different people and companies to switch. After 2 weeks with a Moto Razr phone, damn, you've had it for 2 weeks? How did you get it 2 weeks ago? I know they just started shipping them yesterday. They have made a brilliant folding phone. The battery life is about 2 days. Wow, of normal use. Holy crap. 2 days? Whoa, that's way more than I thought. Yo, Samsung, maybe we'll do this in another video. We're going to do our giveaway shortly. Samsung's in trouble, man. It opens your eyes when you see a product, when you see a company like Motorola put out a foldable that essentially checks all the boxes. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, are there any downsides? Maybe the only downside I see, the only negative, is that it doesn't shoot from when you have it folded, when it's closed. The front outer display, I think, only shoots 1080p 30 or 60 frames per second. Like, it doesn't do 4K, but you can circumvent that by folding it open and then filming yourself from the rear cameras, and it'll show your face on that outside camera that when you fold it open, you can shoot from the rear main cameras, but then see yourself on the top outer display when it's opened up. Yeah, that's a way to circumvent it, but when it's closed, but they probably thought, well, not that many people are gonna record themselves when it's closed. It's mainly for an outer display, right? But getting back to Motorola, it opens your eyes to, it's like, damn, Samsung's been feeding us this BS for the last 6 years, essentially. In the last few years, specifically, when the competition's really been heating up, especially when the iPhone Ultra comes out, they're foldable. That thing's gonna suck. But the Motorola Razr Fold, it's hands down the best foldable. Easy, easy. When I had my signature, you know what? I'm gonna test that again because I get mine on Tuesday. I don't think I got 2 days battery life, but I know it was really good. I think it was over a day. I know that I could go into the second day. I just couldn't hit like 48 hours. But man, that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. Glad Qualcomm is challenging Apple's on computer chips with the X2 Elite. I think that will make the revenue loss when the other phone companies use their own chips. Yeah, and if you want to do, if you want to really want to see what they're into, just Google Qualcomm chips outside of phones and see what pops up. They're in cars now, wearables. Because if you think about wearables, that's a market they can dominate because nobody else makes wearable chips. I think Meta uses them for theirs. Google, Samsung, all watches. Most everybody uses Qualcomm. So even though they lose phones, you'll see them getting into other stuff, cars, all sorts of stuff. So, it's part of a company. You have to adapt to, the future, essentially. My Moto Fold 2026 that I picked up yesterday, the photos are awesome. Yeah, it's got those sensors on there are badass. And again, shame on you, Samsung. Shame on you for feeding us this BS in those folds. I was like, yeah, they're pretty cool, but damn, the cameras suck, Especially even with the flips. Now, I don't know what the Moto Flip is like, but their foldable Samsung, back to Samsung, yeah, just trash, and you're paying so much money. It's like, damn, I've been selling myself short for these past few years or however many years you've owned a foldable. And that's the thing, some people love them, and some people like myself just can't deal with it. I just can't do a foldable, but I'm cool with it, right? Like I'm excited for y'all that did get them because I know they're a fantastic device. But just to be introduced to literally the best sensor you can get in a camera is in your foldable, that's a good feeling. That's a really good feeling. These things are freaking so expensive, and it does piss me off that Samsung and whoever else been selling us short with these BS sensors. Now, it's not like, even if they put the S26 Ultra cameras in the Fold 7 or Fold 8, it still would not be good enough. So, Motorola is definitely on a good road, a good course for the future right now because they're showing everybody how to make a good foldable. What did Samsung? Thank you. No, you hit it just in time. In fact, I'm trying not to make this too long. We're going to do our giveaway here shortly, but thank you for rolling me. I freaking forgot the topic of the show. I was so engaged with Intel's going to come back. Yes. Yeah. They're in really, really good position. Samsung's in big time trouble. Did y'all see they did finally settle with their union with the workers? But it's a fraction of what SK Hynix is giving their employees. It's a fraction, but they did settle. They did settle. So let's do this. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Let me pull up this right here. Let me share my screen here. Let's see. There we are. It was this one right here. Check this out. Look at this. So Samsung is, so we all know Apple is producing an iPhone 20, right? And there it's an anniversary edition and it's an all screen display, meaning there's it's going to be a quad nano curved display, just like the Motorola Signature, just like the OnePlus 13, except there's not even going to be there's not even going to be a hole punch. It's going to be under display camera sensor, and the dynamic island is going away. They're doing away with it. Literally going to be all display. And guess what? Samsung gonna do the same thing. Now, they've been working on this since 2025 when we got word that Apple was going to produce a 20th anniversary edition with an all display. So Samsung is reportedly developing a 3D curved display technology similar to Apple's upcoming iPhone 20 quad curved display, which could be integrated into future Galaxy devices. Probably come on an Ultra or a special edition. You know how they like to do the S25 Edge or something of the sort. So this development was rumored to be in progress since 2025. It leverages Samsung's role as the exclusive OLED supplier for the iPhone 20. The new Samsung display is expected to feature a curvature on 3 of its 4 sides, with the flat side remaining. And it's anticipated to launch in early 2028, just when the iPhone 20 is released. What about that? What about that? Lord of mercy. This advanced display technology may debut on the S28 Ultra and could potentially be supplied to Apple's Chinese competitors, given Samsung's expertise in display manufacturing. So big stuff up on the horizon. It'll be interesting to see what this looks like. It's going to be something like this on your display, something like that minus that hole punch. So we will have to wait and see. Now, let's do the giveaway. I want everybody to put hashtag gift in the chat. I got to roll hashtag gift. And I will pull this up here. Let me remove this. Hashtag gift. There we go. Damn, I've been having trouble with StreamYard today. Hashtag gift. I'll give y'all just a second. Let me see if I have anything else here. I'm gonna do a review on this, and then I'll give this away as well. But that'll be like next week or the week after, probably next week or the week after. It's the Orico. It fits on the back of your iPhone, right? It's like a little with a USB Type-C cable that goes on the back of here, and you can it's got Type-C connection. You can actually put an NVMe in here, a little M.2. You can open it up and put that in there. So we'll give that away as well. But like I said, that'll be like next week. All right, y'all ready? Let's see here. Ratchat 11R3QY, congratulations to you. I think you're a new winner, so congratulations. I really appreciate the viewership, and get with me on the back end and reach out to me on the back end. I will get you a Amazon gift card, or whatever's easiest for you. We can do that for you. So congratulations. I'll get with you on the back end. I gotta roll. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.